Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Kev Play. This is Kevin, and we are on episode 9 of The Last of Us Part 2. Last time we managed to get the the gas and we got the key to one of the rooms, and now we can go back to the gates and start getting things going. But I want to explore more before we go. See what's going on over here.
There's something back here.
Hey, Peppa Pig. How's it going, my friend? Oh, there's a gate code here. This is the west gate, right? Yeah, so it's been a while, dude. I know. I don't know what it is. I think it's because of this open world area that just becomes kind of a slog to me. I enjoy it, but it's like part of me becomes it's almost like it's like working out. Like the hardest part of working out is actually getting into that mode and getting and actually starting to do it. But once you're doing it, it's fine. That's what like podcasting sometimes is for me. It's like I don't know what I'm supposed to expect in this episode. I hope I can like when I'm in an open world.
Should we get this gas back to the Fethedra gate?
Yeah. It just I don't know. It just it like paralyzes me. Whereas if I'm playing like a Crash playthrough or a Spyro playthrough, I know what I'm doing more, so I know that I'm going to be progressing more. Well, this we're progressing, but it's just like I don't know what I'm in for. I don't know why. It just like it's a weird thing. Like, like if you ever get around to podcasting yourself or not podcasting, but you know what I mean, like let's plays or whatever, it becomes like there's a hump you have to get over in order to start doing it. Shouldn't have picked Last of Us 2. I think once we get out of this section, though, it becomes more linear. Like all Naughty Dog games. Obviously, yeah, I picked it because of the show was a big hot thing, and I wanted to be in that world. But yeah, now it's like this is gonna be a long game. What? Didn't I have gate codes or something I can look at? List of known agitators, supply chest note, refugee note, checkpoint gate codes, that's what I need. So we're at West Point, we're West 2 I think, right? 0451, 0451. 0451. If only you had the Uncharted collection, I would love to see that. Yeah, you know. Okay.
Yes.
But in the meantime, I needed. I, I did like enjoy the break because it allowed me to finish at least the story, the main story of Burning Shores, which is the DLC for Horizon Forbidden West. I very much enjoyed it. Um, I think people made a really big stink about the spoiler in it over nothing. It really was a nothing thing. Like I don't know understand why people get so um
That was some good
upset
scavenging.
over nothing. But I had to say the final boss, like the final like thing you have to do. And I think I still have to do an epilogue, and I still have to like explore like the islands more and like do some cleaning up for like the exploration part of it. But I gotta say that final boss, that is the most insane thing I've ever experienced on the PS5. Like, there's a reason why this DLC does not exist on PS4, but it only exists on PS5. And holy cow, we're talking like one of the craziest set pieces that has so much scope and weight to it, and so much insanity. There's so much chaos is happening on screen at once, and it's so cool. And it was one of the most like satisfying gameplay experiences I've ever played on the PS5. And that's counting Ratchet and Clank and God of War and Spider-Man and what else did we play? And the main game of Horizon. Like it really just was like, wow, this is what the PS5 can do. So, oh yeah, it's about that lesbian. Yeah, it's so stupid. It was such a nothing thing, and it doesn't even like lean into it as much as you would have expected. It was just like an innocent little thing that happens. Um, but people like to complain. People like to review. People were review bombing the game because of this without even having played it. And I think it actually like awoke this kind of like an awareness with Metacritic where they're going to start cracking down on like who on what users are which users are allowed to give reviews and stuff, which is I guess if there's anything good to come out of it, there's that. But yeah, it's honestly I enjoyed it. I love the characters. I love the new character that gets introduced. Everything about it was great, and I'm looking forward to playing it later on. Flow. Flo, real name Olga Kuznetsova. Brains 80, Brawn 80, Affiliation Society of Champions. Graduating at the top of her class from a prominent sci-tech university, Olga Kuznetsova, I can't really see, I'm so far away from the TV, was recruited by the Russian government to further their research into dark energy. Fearing the tech would be used for war, her attempt to sabotage their experiments resulted in her consciousness fusing with water vapor. Now she is able to channel her soul into any body of water and conjure objects in any form of water, so long as there's moisture in the air, which of course there always is. Neutral hero. Cool. Cool name for a water type. Can I get this medkit or am I full? Oh, I'm full, okay. Alright, let's move on. I'm glad this little section here wasn't like a big area because I do kind of just want to move on,
Clean this place out.
Now I gotta figure out, okay, so we came from here, we went up these steps and everything. Where am I? Like, let's see what my map says, because I think it marks where I've been. I hate how hard it is to get to the map. It should just be one button. So how was the beta? Oh man, okay. I very much enjoyed it. I was so addicted. I played, and I have to say, by the way, thank you for hooking me up with the code, because I was never expecting that. I thought that they would just I thought it was just like a very strict thing, like, oh, you have to pre-order, um, and whoever pre-orders their game gets it. But I think it's smart. They wanted to get as many people into that beta as possible. It's for their own benefit, really. But I guess they wanted to at first get people to pre-order, so that they can get some, get a little income going. But yeah, I very much appreciate it. It was it definitely won me over. I'm very excited for June. I think June 20th. I think is when it comes out. That's going to be a really fun game to come home after work and just relax to. And it does after multiple playthroughs. It does start to hurt your hands after a while, but that's nothing new. Compared to like CTR or whatever. So it wasn't as bad as CTR in terms of that. So, but it's just like the constant spinning, which I've been very vocal about with Crash 4 that I'm not really a fan of it, but it works for me in this game because you're trying to break crates anyway. It's not so much that you're trying to do a time trial. You're just trying to get, you're always going to be spinning no matter what. But I did not expect the game to be that good. It really was. Very addicting. I pretty much mained Crash throughout the whole thing. I tried Dingo Dial, but I was a little it was a little too heavy for me, a little too I don't know. Like I feel like and I did take that survey, by the way. They sent that survey to my email. Um and I was pretty constructive, I think, in my responses to their questions and stuff. Trying to give them a better idea of how to improve the game, I guess. Um but yeah, I think there should be more tutorials. I think for the other characters, just to get everyone up to speed. I think I think offline with bots is actually going to be a beneficial thing if they can provide that. Not just because I'm a I want offline stuff, but I think it's a good way to practice and start to strategize and apply and then apply it to online. So it kind of feeds what that whole like player revenue stream, of just getting people to play over and over. I was destroying everyone with Dingo Dell. Nice. Yeah, I was really good with Crash. Good as a scorer. What I like about Crash, he's very well rounded. Like where sometimes I would just go for the gem platform. Sometimes I would actually be a blocker as Crash if when the time suited was best suited for it. So I wouldn't like commit to it the whole match, but if I was like in their area and I could block some people for a bit just to like distract people, I would do that. There's so many cool ways to go about it, you know. Yeah, Crash was probably my favorite. I did unlock like Cortex and Tawna and everybody, but I didn't really dabble with them too much. It was really just Crash and Dingo Dial for but okay, so all these question marks are done. Where am I? Let's try to see where that question mark in the on that mile 5 marker is, and then we'll go to the gate, I guess, if that's possible. Because I think everything around here is pretty much all set. Um, what else? I was giving them like game mode types, like I honestly think they need to incorporate more of like the box platforming. And when they asked if there was a fourth role to play as, what would it be? I answered a builder, like someone who can like create platforms and like more of like and kind of like a way to almost like a Fortnite thing, I guess, where you can create like platforms for yourself and like generate more boxes upon like a certain trail or whatever. Like I think that would be cool. Um, Obviously, there's Activision. I mean, Toys for Bob developers would be smarter in how to execute that. But I think that was something that I think would be cool because I feel like there is a little bit of an emptiness with the map where it's like if they can make really like insane, because I know this is just the beta and it's only a few maps, but if they can make more really tough and rewarding platforming sections where it will like really help your team if you can be as good as you are in a regular Crash Bandicoot game, but use but in like a multiplayer um um version of that, I guess that would be awesome, and I think it would actually help distinguish the game and make it more unique compared to any other game there is. So like they can borrow from Fortnite. I think I think that's something that would actually be kind of cool, but like make it work. Don't go too crazy. I know Fortnite is just like you know um is all over the place these days from what I've heard, but like something that can just work for a Crash Bandicoot game. Now, do you think the game should be free to play? Huh. See, I'm not really I don't know. I feel like it should be if it wants to be successful, but um, I don't know because I mean, obviously, we're gonna be able to purchase it on our own. I don't know, maybe down the line somehow. I don't know how that works though. But I do think it is important to get as many players playing as possible. Maybe I don't know. Because I think at this point it's pretty much not going to be free to play yet. You know, I don't know any games that have started um with a model where you're purchasing it first and then it's free to play. So I don't know. Okay, if Overwatch did it, and Overwatch is a Activision Blizzard game, right? So maybe they can copy that model, I guess. See, now I'm confused. Where was I supposed to be going to? I don't think I was down here yet.
Got a caravan up ahead.
Military got their ass kicked here.
WLF. These guys don't fuck around.
Whoa. This guy was an officer.
Traveling in a ration truck?
Trying to hide, maybe?
Unsuccessfully.
Yeah, sure looks that way.
We got here. Everything is in place. We will be waiting. Once we intercept the convoy and take the Fedra officers captive, you can abandon your post and join us. I hope you've taken numerous risks and lived in fear of being discovered. Your loyalty to our cause is appreciated, Isaac. So there's that Isaac guy again. Another thing I did when they gave you a choice of like what characters do you want to see, if there's more characters to be added, I added the Naughty Dog characters except for Koala Kong because I feel like he's kind of like a. I feel like Tiny needs to make a comeback. I'd rather see Tiny before, yeah, and Tiny and Koala Kong are so similar in like their body types and their type of characters. Yeah, so I got the Naughty Dog guys. I added Crunch and Nash because I like Nash from Crash Nitro Kart. But I knew everybody was just gonna select everybody, so I was just like, you know what? Let's narrow it down just a bit. Because obviously I would love everybody, but I think if I was to prioritize, that's what I would say. Fascists. People are thinking about getting that KO the Kangaroo character as a character, and I'm just thinking like, but what about Ripperoo? Like, what are you gonna have two kangaroos? Like, I mean, it's not the craziest thing in the world, but but who is this KO the like? I think KO the Kangaroo is an old game, right? Like that was a remake. That recent game was like a like a reimagining of an older game from PS1, I think, right? Discount Crash Bandicoot. Right, I mean, it's always good to see a new platformer kind of come along the way and get their own game in this modern day, but yeah, I don't know. It's like I don't know who KO the Kangaroo is though, so I'd still like I would definitely rather Ripper before this. This guy has to prove himself if he wants to join the Rumble, in my opinion. But he is kind of built for it too, because like, he's like a boxer, so it's like on theme that he would want to be in the Rumble, as it were. All right, I guess I can't really get on top of this area, right? Let's check my map again. Personally, I don't want any third-party characters in Rumble except for Spyro. Yeah, you know what? I agree. And Spyro has definitely earned it because he has that history with Crash. They've always been tied together. Yeah, like I don't want it to become like its own like Smash. Like Smash is already Smash, and that's the thing I like about this game is that it's like it's like a 3D, like it's almost like a fighting game in a 3D a large 3D space, and I don't think that's rare. I feel like this is kind of what I always wanted back when Smash was a thing, back in the PS1. I mean during the N64 days. I was like, wouldn't it be? Because I remember thinking like, okay, they had Pokemon Stadium, where instead of it being a 2D plane, you're fighting in a 3D space. But wouldn't it be cool if there was more versatility and you can move and your character can do things just like Smash, but it's in a 3D arena? Like that's what I kind of like about this. Like this is what I always kind of wanted in a way. All right, so I've been to this area. I think it's time to just go back to the Fedra Gate. And I'm still looking forward to whatever Spyro has to offer this year because I know he's been heavily rumored to be, there may be a reveal for him this year. So it looks like Crash and Spyro are not going to be Microsoft owned for a long foreseeable future. Spyro 4, I know for sure is happening by the end of this year. Yeah, definitely. I can't, and honestly, that I'm more excited about that in my opinion than Rumble. But Rumble is a welcome surprise. I'm very impressed with, and I can't wait to play that. But I do think Spyro is due, like overdue for a game. But yeah, the Activision deal seems to have fallen.
Oh, that was an adventure.
It was.
Haven't found any of them yet.
Hey, it's a big city. We barely started looking.
Yeah, I know. Just thought we'd see one of them by now.
It's a mess, man. Like what Microsoft did, like first the CMA blocked the deal, and I could have done a playthrough last week and talked about that, but it just gets worse. Now the CMA has passed a bill, or no, I mean, I think UK has passed a bill for this that the CMA doesn't even have to like that Microsoft can't even make another acquisition for or try for Activision in 10 more years. So all this time they spent trying to get like this has been over a year now. The time and money and investment to try to get Activision 69 billion and it's really just been for nothing. And Sony just stayed quiet throughout the whole thing. I mean, yeah, they had Jim Ryan, kind of, crying Jim Ryan as they call him, going down to the like the UK or whatever, and stating his case. And there was a lot of like drama going on in their arguments back and forth that was just like kind of just embarrassing on both sides in a way. But Sony for the most part has been very quiet. Now they can and just the fact that Microsoft like threatened the CMA and threatened like UK in a way, the nation of and being like this maybe you guys aren't going to be like uh like maybe like almost like cutting them out, like saying like threatening to cut them out or saying or whatever because or whatever it is. But I don't know, it's just a mess now, and Microsoft looks like it's probably going to be a really tough uphill battle for them if they ever try for this again, because they really dug themselves in a hole the way they were kind of like I guess taking the loss in very bad spirits and everything. Absolute dumpster fire. Dude, what if the other regulators agree with the acquisition? Microsoft might have to pull out the UK. Yeah, so that's the thing. It's about cloud gaming as I'm uh like that was the argument against it that got it blocked or whatever is concerns over cloud gaming. Um but I think I remember reading something saying like cloud gaming in the UK isn't really that much. So it's possible they could do that, I think, or something. I'm no lawyer or anything, so I'm not no expert, but and I don't claim to be. But there's something with that, but I don't know. I feel like it's a dangerous road. I feel like they've narrowed their options down to not much. And I'm pretty like I'm pretty confident if I as someone on the sidelines, I'm pretty confident that this is going to be a big wash, and they just it's over. Cloud gaming in general isn't even that big. Look at freaking Stadia. Yeah, that's probably what Google was one of the vocal um, naysayers of this deal to begin with, because they are very much in competition with Microsoft than probably more than Sony is.
Here we go. All right.
I got it. You put in the code.
The code. What is the code?
Hey, these old generators are pretty finicky, so it might take you a few tries to... Oh.
Sorry, go on. Nothing.
And here's the thing too, that and this kind of depresses me a bit. I don't know why it does, but I wasn't expecting this reaction, this feeling to arise last night. But Redfall has been a game that has been propped up a lot by Bethesda, or not Bethesda, by Arcane, I think, is the developer. Um, and usually what people say is Redfall has to be good and Starfield has to be great. Um, and it just looks like Redfall, and I wasn't like I thought Redfall looked fun when they showed it initially. I didn't think it was like lighting the world on fire, but I was like, okay, that's a cool game, especially for like the Game Pass model. That'd be a neat game to play. It looks like you would get a lot of mileage out of it. First-person shooters are always fun. But yeah, there's the whole thing with it. It's going to be releasing at 30 frames per second, which I think in nowadays that's kind of a little below standard. But also that now there's leaks coming out of reviews, and the embargo is supposed to lift, I think, tonight, or like in a few hours or at some point. And reviews have been leaking out, and the reviews are not good at all. Like really not good. And this actually, like, and I'm a Sony fan, like, so I would expect myself to be like, oh man, I guess I'm glad I have my PlayStation, but I didn't feel that. I felt disappointed because, and a little depressed because I was like, I want Xbox to do good. I think competition is good. I think I miss the days when I looked over the fence, at I I'm a PlayStation gamer, but I can't play Smash. I can't play Pokemon. I would have to get those games if I want to play. I would have to get that system, or whatever. I miss like feeling jealous about Halo and loving Halo, and I'm glad I have my Xbox 360 now, where I can play those first four games. But I want to kind of be excited for the competition as well, and it's just kind of I don't know. It's just I wish that Redfall, like for all we know, Redfall could end up getting polished down the road, more polished. Like we've seen games like what was that game? No Man's Sky make a huge comeback from when it was released. I think even Cyberpunk, to a degree, has gotten better in some aspects. So I don't think I think Redfall has potential if they post launch, but it's just disappointing that they're not really meeting their marks. And I don't know if it's because Microsoft just can't manage their studios properly, because Arcane's a very talented studio. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. They're the guys that made Deathloop, right? And that was a big hit when it came out, right? But I don't know. It's just too easy now. is it the is it that game that's locked? Yeah, it's locked at 30 frames. They're saying that they're adding like stickers on the physical game saying 60 frames per second is coming post launch or whatever. So it's not really the I don't know. I think it's just the way Microsoft spent like about what was it, 7 billion on Bethesda, and I think Arcane was looped into that too. I forget. I forget the numbers exactly, but you would think they haven't made a. I don't know. I know that our Redfall was not in production completely when Microsoft. I mean, they were already well into production before Microsoft took them over or acquired them. So maybe not all the blame could be on Microsoft, but in the very least, I feel like Microsoft could have delayed it, even as unfortunate as that would be for a lot of people. I think they should have known that, but at the same time, it's like they have such a huge gap of time where they haven't really released much. They had a really good game, that they shadow dropped with Hi-Fi Rush for Game Pass, but it's like I mean, I remember hearing that didn't really like help them financially that much. It was a good way to get subscribers, I guess, and get word of mouth going about Game Pass, but I don't think it really went there in their favor in the long run. But yeah, I heard Hi-Fi Rush was a great game, and Redfall should be like it might be an entertaining game when it starts to get patches and stuff. For all we know, but it's just I wish there was I just wish there was a stronger competition, and that because I'm just in favor of games. I want games to do good. I don't like the idea that a lot of all these people worked really hard and spent so much time, time and money and sacrifice to make to come up with this project and try to see a game to its launch, and then it's just not meeting the deadline or whatever. That's disappointing. I think Microsoft is just relying on Game Pass too much. That's the thing too, is that I'm personally not a fan of a subscription service, live service games type of thing. And Microsoft has pretty much leaned into it tenfold, so it's just not. It's unfortunate, but what can we do, I guess? Oh, gotta get the gate codes again. A lot of yammering from me today. Let me see. Where's that gate code? Oh, okay. I think Microsoft should go third party. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think we're at East 2, 5345. Yeah, we are, okay. 5345, 5345.
It worked.
Nice.
Well, no welcoming committee. Or they're just waiting for us.
Let's look for a way in. Keep an eye on those windows.
But we'll see. I mean, it looks like the Redfall reviews are coming in soon, like the majority of them. It doesn't look like it's going to be good. It looks like it's going to be another, just another flop in a way in terms of reviews. Could be a fun game, when you look past the reviews. I mean, look at Days Gone. Days Gone got a really bad rap when it came out because Sony rushed they gave the unfinished copy to the media outlets, And I remember Ben Studio was really against that and very vocal about how that hurt them. And because the game I played versus the game the games media played, where they got their early copy, was a very different game. The game I played at launch was a more finalized game. It was a buggy. There were buggy stuff that happened in that game, but it wasn't like game breaking or it was still a great game, I think. So maybe that's the same case with this, where early copies went out and maybe, but at the same time, it's like they haven't they haven't like their embargo date for the reviews is like the day of the launch. That's never really a good sign. So, but I don't know. We'll see. I keep thinking I can just jump over without the horse, but I guess not.
Wolf. WLF. I get it.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
Ugh. I guess we'll explore this area now. I don't need no stinking hint. Is there a way I can get on this? I think there is, right? I'm trying to like get on the lip of this, but it's not letting me.
You see that? Infected just hopped that fence.
Oh, means we can get in that way.
Shouldn't we hear gunshots or something?
I don't know what's going on.
I guess I'll press the hint button because they
No
want me
idea
to.
what to do here.
Maybe we can get over there.
I know what to do. I just want to explore first, so. Is there a gate code for East 1? I think East 1 was like blacked out or something, or like, censored or something. Let's see.
You have a code for this gate?
Not sure.
I don't think I do. I think we'll follow this infected. Oops. I'm forgetting my controls. Circle. Yeah, see, in Horizon, it's square to crouch. And I'm pressing L1 as if my weapon wheel's about to come up. I gotta, like... to get used to my controls again. I guess we'll just stick to the shotgun. This person definitely went in here. Okay. No. That was fun.
Okay. That's that.
It's weird that I was using listen mode and that person did not show up. The guy that, like, you know, that caught me. Oh yeah, I played a little bit of Dead Space. Okay, how do you like it? That's the one game I think because I still have Metal Gear Solid to play, but I did play like the first level, which is like really quick. Um, and then I was playing Burning Shores, but yeah, Dead Space is the next game that I'm looking to pick up at some point. And nice, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And it's timing up pretty good because the price probably will go down by the time I get around to it. So that's always a good thing. I'm still getting into it. Yeah, I'm sure it probably take some getting used to, I guess.
This one's fresh. And he's got one of those wolf patches.
Guess they didn't make it out with their gas after all.
That's good, right?
If those fuckers who killed Joel got taken out by some random infected.
Then they'd still be dead, Billy.
I'm not sure that's justice. Might as well grab what we can while we're here.
The hell is that? That creaking. This is why I'm not like too. Oh, look at this lamp. What the hell is happening? We're in like the haunted lobby right now. But this is why I'm like, there hasn't been any Sony games in terms of like, you know, an actual full game yet this year. You know, I played Hogwarts Legacy, which was, you know, marketed by Sony, but it wasn't. That's not a first party game. You know, we can expect Spider-Man 2 this year, but this is a year where it's just. I'm wondering if it's just going to be Spider-Man 2 or what. Here's the thing that's good about the Activision deal seeming to be pretty much more or less blocked, especially with the 10-year like wait that Microsoft has to do in order to acquire Activision again, or try to, is now I think Sony can feel comfortable in giving us a showcase, because I think that was part of what they were trying to argue for, is that they, you know, that they were trying to make it seem like they were struggling a bit or whatever, whatever like argument they were trying to go for. But I don't think whatever they were trying to argue for ever factored into it. I think it was always a cloud gaming thing that really was on the minds of the CMA or the FTC or whatever. Excuse me. But I think now that Microsoft has pretty much taken the L, I think Sony will feel comfortable to come out with a showcase and really show us what's going on this year, or what's going on with the future of PlayStation. So but I'm satisfied. Like, it's a year where I'm glad there isn't really too much yet, because I want to enjoy Crash Team Rumble. I want to enjoy a third-party game like Dead Space, maybe some of my backlog a bit. And I'm satisfied, you know, with what PS5's output has been. So like I'm eating good, you know, as it were. Yeah, man, we need some bangers. Yeah, I mean, I think Spider-Man 2 is going to be something. I'm wondering if Factions is going to be a thing this year.
They've been shot.
You recognize them?
No.
Maybe someone else killed these guys.
The infected just wandered in.
It's possible. It's very possible.
Hey, found their gas.
Well, if we need any more, we know where to get it.
Uh, might as well just keep crafting things because, like, finding that I'm coming across more stuff that ends up being full. Okay. I feel like I need to get back to a workbench at some point too. We know there's the one in the middle of the back in the open world area, but alright, so we pretty much got this good. Let's go up the stairs, I guess. I wonder how Starfield is gonna be since Redfield apparently fumbled. I feel like Starfield is really their their holy grail for, like, I think Starfield can't fail at all. Like, it has to be great. Redfall, I think, is disappointing, but I don't think that was a game that was ever really. I think that was a game that needed to be good, and it's just disappointing that it's looking to be a little less than. Maybe average, mediocre at best. But I think Starfield needs to really um, prove itself and really prove why the Xbox brand is something worth investing in.
I don't recognize this one either.
Exactly, it needs to slap. And it would be refreshing if there was something good for them. You know, after this year of where they've just been taking a lot, a major beating. You know, over the last couple of years here. You know, with this Activision, like, this is gonna, they're probably losing their minds right now over this Activision thing. They put so much investment into this, they were really counting on it. They were celebrating the idea of it before they even really, had it locked down at all. They were, saying, oh, Crash. There's that picture of Crash with, like, that Microsoft exec, doing the cross, like he's an Xbox character now or whatever. Kind of like just having a playful tease at Sony fans, I guess. But now it looks like that's not the case. And the thing is, I'm not a fan of these companies just consolidating and acquiring studios. I like that Sony has always been growing their studios within and then acquiring them. It makes sense for their brand and everything. Like, to get, like, Insomniac, which they got for, like, a steal for, like, a certain amount of $1 million or whatever it was. I think it was like $200 million or something. That's a steal. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't think any company should be going after big, huge publishers like this, because I think it's a slippery slope for everybody. I hope that Sony doesn't feel like they're in an arms race to do that. I think they should just keep doing what they're doing. But I don't know. Oh my god, more reading. Let's go. This one's a lot. Let's go for it. Saturday, March 29th, our strike against the Fedra checkpoint worked. Killed at least 3 of those thugs, just a few wounded on our side. In the wake of our losses, it felt good to hit back. That night, we voted Isaac as the new commander. It was a contentious meeting. His summary execution of those prisoners still doesn't sit right with some people, but I like him. He can make the tough calls. Friday, April 4th. I'm fucking exhausted, but for a good reason, we've had 8 new recruits show up in the last few days, and 6 are Fedra deserters. Isaac's directive is clearly fucking working. It's either that or all those flyers. People are taking us seriously now, finally seeing the WLF as a real alternative. We'll kick those fascists out and rebuild on the foundations Emmett and Jason laid. So Isaac's making some moves here. X- Xbox can make quality games so that can make quality games so they butt out big companies. Yeah. Sony has making small acquisitions here and there. That's fine. Yeah, because like them getting Bungie, for example, and not like trying to take control of Bungie and letting Bungie do what they have to do. That's a smart acquisition because they want to get into like the multiplayer space, and and Bungie's been really great with Destiny, and they're trying to do that for their own stuff. And there was that recent thing from Herman Hulst that just came out saying like they're trying to like really like fill every genre when it comes to multiplayer and really explore how the best way to go about that and stuff like that. Yeah, Sony should be making a Halo killer again. I mean, they are due to fill that space with a first-person shooter again, because we haven't had a Sony first-person shooter, I think, since Killzone Shadowfall, which was a really fun multiplayer game, by the way. I was addicted to the multiplayer back in the day. The story, as you watched me play the story, it was okay. It wasn't really like lighting the world on fire or anything. But yeah. All right, let's see what's over here. Wait, did I explore everything? I think I did, right? Yeah.
Shit. The fuck happened here?
Tommy did this.
This? No way.
It was definitely him. He's one of the ones that killed Joel.
Shit. There's another one over here.
I don't recognize him. He was using them against each other.
How?
Joel told me about this. You ask this guy a question, but you don't make him say it, you make him write it down. And you ask this guy, and if the facts match, you're telling the truth. If not,
You fuck him up.
yeah.
East 1. Another gate code?
Looks like it.
This just happened now. He can't be far off.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Come on. We can get out this way.
this is what Joel
Maybe
did
catch up with Tommy.
back when
Yeah.
David had Ellie, or Ellie was mixed up with David and he needed information. It's crazy how this guy was apparently one of the guys that was in the room when Ellie witnessed Joel's death. But when Ellie sees him, he's just a dead body. He's just an empty vessel at this point. There's almost like a humanity, like like for her and from her perspective, everyone needs to die. Everyone, they're they're demons to her. They need to just be put down out of their misery. But when we see this and how the brutality of it, and at the end of the day, it's just a person. Um, and I think this is the first warning to Ellie that she's on this road to revenge. She's trying to get some sense of justice over what's happened, and this is where it's just like this is it. Like this is what you're going to be chasing for the rest of the game. And it's not going to be pretty, and it's not going to be, and like this person was just in the room. So, I don't know. Anyways, we got our gate code for East 1 though. Is this the... Oh, this is where I was gonna be. Okay, cool.
I know you said Tommy had a rough past, but... Fuck.
I know. Are you okay?
It wasn't pretty.
I don't want you to think bad of Tommy.
Ellie, if I had my sister's killers tied to a chair, I'd do worse.
I hear you.
That's interesting. It's interesting that Dina doesn't really know the side of the Millers. The Joel and Tom and what they're Tommy and what they're capable of. But it's Dina that after she's exposed to this kind of brutal violence, and she's seen violence before, but she's the one that's kind of pushing Ellie forward, even though she's the one who's kind of shocked at what Tommy's done here. Something to think about. Okay, so I guess we can go forward with this gate, but I guess we'll open the gate for now. I do hope I can find a workbench again, though. I'm debating whether I should go back to that other workbench just to have done it, or should I just tough it out until I get to the next one? But we'll see.
Got it. And I got this.
Big question, though. Where does this take us?
That's a good question. Well, I'm at least glad we're on the right track now to progressing, and that I'm not in this like mystery open world area where it's just like I'm tempted to just keep searching for stuff. Whereas this game, well, this part of the world will push me forward more and motivate me to keep playing more. It's not that I'm not enjoying it, but it's just it that becomes like a hurdle in a way to when there's so much other things to be doing. But yeah, I'm enjoying myself. Alright, so I think next time we'll hop over this little barricade. And yeah. I guess in the meantime, yeah,
I say we find shelter and we set up camp.
yeah.
Maybe somewhere high up so we can scope out the area.
I like that idea.
I agree, Dina. We should
Okay.
scope it out.
Let's look for an open building.
Preferably with no infected. Or WLF.
Wolves.
Whatever.
I still have some of those almond things left if you're hungry.
Not really.
You should eat something. Oh my god. I sounded like my mom just now.
I'll be fine.
I'm hungry myself. Yeah, so yeah, Papa Pig, it's been a pleasure. Anyone out there who wants to take it upon themselves to like, comment, or subscribe, it's greatly appreciated. Other than that, you can subscribe to Kev Plays on YouTube or follow me on Twitter at Let's Watch Series. Other than that, stay safe, stay healthy, keep a clear head, and keep on gaming. It's gonna be a fun year, I think, going forward. Anyway, peace out. See you soon, Pelpa.